Alright, kind of what we're doing here is marking out on the side panels of the cabinet. If you can look closely, I have drawn a line along here where we're going to be cutting a 3/8 inch by 1/4 inch deep rabbet groove to accommodate the back when the cabinet is totally assembled. So just to be sure, we wanted to make sure that I put a line there to identify when I get it to the router table that I don't cut it on the wrong side. I've been known to do that before. So that's the basis for this little section of the video. This part of the video is actually, this is the mock-up, the dry mock-up before gluing of the cabinet bottom to the base. You can see where I have made marks and already have made biscuit slots beneath the two pieces, the sides and the bottom, to when the glue up is finished, it will actually have biscuits in those areas where the pencil marks are. That gives it stability, and it won't come apart, you know, at the end of the assembly. This area here is going to be for the toe kick when the cabinet is complete. All right, I'm getting ready to set up the dado width and height and depth, and so that I can cut the back grooves on the side panels. I'm going to turn on the dust collector. Start up my test piece. That cuts this groove for when the part, the main sides get in place on the base. Then I'll have a space here to put the back on. So I'll film the whole thing now. Note where I had previously marked this line, and that's where the groove will be cut. There's the finished piece. Now I'll do the other side. There you have it. All right, what I've set up here is the bottom of the cabinet, which will be facing downward after the assembly. I need to cut some biscuit slots in it so that I can stabilize that and glue it and hold it in place on the base. So that's what I've done here. I've already set it up, used 36-inch clamps across my workbench to hold it in place while I do that. So here goes the first one. Now I'm going to be reversing it so that I can cut the slots on the other side. Those are the finished ones. Alright, got it reversed. I'm going to cut the next three. Now I'll need, there's two on the, which would ultimately be the back of the base cover. And I'll reposition those. Sometimes you have to be a contortionist to get this stuff where you want it. And what I'm doing here is making sure that this surface is flush with my bench top so that it'll have the same plane as my plate at the bottom of the biscuit cutter. If that made any sense. Tighten them up. I've got two places to cut here. Probably ought to make a line so that I can see it. Now we have a completed bottom for the cabinet, whereas these will be fitted upside down on the base and glue put in there where the biscuit slots are, biscuits inserted, and that'll never go anywhere after the glue is set up. That's about it. Next operation that I have is cutting the slots that mates up with the bottom of the cabinet that I had just cut the biscuit slots in. This is going to be for the sides and the fronts of the base that mates to that. So I'm going to be cutting those now. There's two pieces that gets it in the sides that will turn upside down and go on it, and the other ones will be in the ends where we can use that to put the corner joints together. So in all, there's going to be more than one to cut. I may not show it all, but I'll show you exactly how it will fit together later. I need to go get a couple clamps. These will be cut 3 places. Don't want it to move, so we clamp it. These get cut on the ends. Pardon me, the wrong ones. This gets cut on the ends. I'll come back later after I get this set up. I haven't really shown you the tool that we use to cut these slots. Basically, it is it's a planer in a sense that when you put the pressure against it, it goes in like this. The blade comes out of that slot and it goes into the wood against this fence. You got to keep that flat and plumb with the surface that you're cutting, or else your biscuit slot will be tilted, and you don't want that to happen. But I thought I'd show you close up what that tool looks like. And I'm going to go over now and cut one of these so that you can see how that works, hopefully. And then I may not show the rest of that because it just eats up the camera time, but you'll get the drift. And as you've seen before, it makes that slot. So now we've cut all the slots, and these are all the components right before assembly. You can see we have slots in the underneath side of the cabinet base, I mean, excuse me, not the base, the bottom. And these are the base components. Whereas these will mate with the end pieces of this, and consequently this base will fit over here on these slots after the biscuits are inserted. So there you have it. One of the things that I forgot to mention, what we always try to do is we produce drawings for putting together the cabinetry. And on this particular one, we have a top view, we have a front view, and we have a side view, as well as a cut list. And once we know all of those things, then we can lay it out to see how we want to cut it on the 4x8 pieces of paneling that we need to cut apart to make the assembly. That's just something that helps us to prevent errors, even though then we do make some, as I have said in the past. So that's about it.
Welcome back. We are now at the stage where we are going to dry run or dry fit the base of the cabinet, and I'll show you what Dave's going to be doing that. Hold on.
All right, this is the bottom side of the bottom of the cabinet, which we have already shown you how we cut these grooves to accommodate the slots. Ultimately, when we fit everything up, this will be turned upside down onto the base. So what we're going to do now is, like Michael said, we're going to dry fit everything, make sure the components all work before we glue it up permanently. And so we're going to insert.
So we're inserting these biscuits.
Sticking them into the slots. Then these will go into the end like that. Inside. Forgot to lock in there. That's right. Okay, we basically got a box. And then we'll insert biscuits in these upright slots that are in the certain sections of the sides and the rear. We won't put any in the front because the bottom will extend past that, and we would have to cut slots out into the middle here somewhere. I don't really like to do that, and 3 sides is going to be enough to stabilize it. So we turn it upside down, make sure those slots are all going to work. Eventually, if I can find out where that is.
It fits.
What's not fitting? The back.
Yeah.
Back is cocked.
There you go.
There we go. So everything does fit, and ultimately we'll end up having a face frame that goes onto the front of that, and it'll extend all the way up.
And that's what that is, right?
Right. That's exactly what.
That's where the drawers
is.
go in.
So then at that point you'll have a toe kick area for the completed cabinet. That way you won't stub your toes when you're wanting to use the cabinet.
Yeah, Don will like that.
So now, at some point here, we'll show you, when we get ready to glue it up, the procedure for gluing it up.
So right now we're just going to start gluing. So we're going to put glue inside the cookie slot and on the sides, right?
Right.
Wherever the wood will mate or connect.
Yes, and we don't want to overload the glue because it'll be squeezed out.
Squish out.
It'll be ugly, even though the base is not going to be all that visible. We want to be as clean as we can be. So
That's right.
that's what we're going to do now. And once we start gluing, obviously we need to be speedy as we can be, because this glue will have at least about a 30-minute setup time to it. It's hard. So what we're going to do there is put them in. Maybe Michael could throw the biscuits in those.
Yeah. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. And those are the only ones that we have holes in, because these are the mating ones.
And we'll turn these up on edge. Guess what I want to do.
You want glue on the sides too then?
Yeah, put some right there. I should have had you do that earlier. It doesn't really matter.
That's
This
the
is
front.
what I was looking for.
Yeah. The one with the holes in it?
The one with the holes in it, dummy. All right.
Now for the assembly.
Keep that from dripping, hopefully. There's that.
Good.
There's that one. And now we'll put a little bit of glue on there before we stick the top on it.
Now, do we need anything here?
We don't.
Okay. Yeah, now we're on the table.
That is right side, correct?
Yeah.
There we go. Now that I got it all over my hands, now we want to take these biscuits, put them in there.
Ta-da!
I already have glue there. I'm not sure I need this, but I'm going to put it in there anyway.
Just make it more rigid.
And we'll don't need it all the way out to the end because that's going to be
It'll stick out anyway, yeah. Gotta get that mated. Oh, perfect. Actually, it's got to go back just right there.
Now the only other thing is we're going to try to make sure that it's set up square, the box. Perfect. And we're going to clamp lock. And press the back and the front against the sides. Doesn't need to have a ton of pressure, but
just enough to keep it together.
Going somewhere. It should close up these joints on those biscuits. And I don't believe we're going to need any downward pressure on this. The weight of the top itself is going to be plenty. And there you have it.
Ta-da! Alright, one base down. Now we just have the sides. When that dries, we have the sides to put on, and then the slides, and then that will be done after we put the face on. That one will be done. We'll move on then to the other cabinet. So stay with us. Hello! We are at the stage where we are going to cut some biscuits slots on this side. Yeah, I was wondering where the line went. So we'll be coming in this way. That's going to affix it to the sides of our sides. So I'll let Dave continue on with that.
Okay.
I'll get over on this side. So, we have nice little holes. Or slots, I should say.
Then we'll need to flip it over. One thing I might add at this point, if you ever find yourself doing this, is that make sure your orientation is always the same, top to bottom, because if you ever have your slot joiner set to a specific depth down from this edge, and then you should happen to flip that piece over and do it from the other side, they may not mate up.
Oh yeah, that would be definitely an issue.
So you always want to kind of, at least in your head, know where the top is to your piece. So if I were to mate that with this, which we're not, if I were to mate that to that, I want to make sure that that edge would be my top. I would cut that the same as I did this, so that they'll flush up.
Yep, makes sense. So now we're going to flip it and do the other side?
Yep. And then there's one, what was it, the bottom needs to happen.
Oh yeah. So on the board, so that face, you know, goes here because it's the drawers. So we've got these already drilled, or I should say slotted. So on that side, either that or that needs them.
Trying to get that flush with the bench top.
Ta-da! So just the two bottom ones left. Whichever one we made bottom.
This is what we have to do. I've been known to put them in this, and you just basically have to build it up, or else pull it down like
okay.
that. Somehow you got to be flush.
Yeah.
This may not be enough to get it, but hopefully it will be. It's not going to work.
Not enough?
I'm going to have to get 36-inch ones, clamps.
Oh, big ones.
Get those. Can't have enough clamps.
Haha.
They're just a little stronger than those kind of clamps.
So now we have slots there, and those two slots will mate, like I tried to indicate before, will mate with those. And the other ones will mate, oops, not on this side. Actually, they should be on that side. Oh, we haven't done these yet.
Now, those are getting pocket screws. This is the only thing that gets. Well, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
We do need to put those in the front face.
Yep, the front face, which will be here and here, because the back side's got a groove. Let me come around here and show you. So that groove will be on the back, and then that'll have a piece of wood slid in there as the backing. All right. So what do we call that? I keep calling it biscuit. It's just a biscuit joint?
Biscuit slot.
Biscuit slot. So that's what we did to the front. Now we got the back side.
That tool is called a biscuit jointer.
Yeah. So it's got a little blade in there that comes out. So good. So on to the next one.